G'day everyone, hope you're doing really well. Welcome back to this episode on Planet Coaster 2, and I'm picking up from where we left off in the last video on advanced paths using the hidden path method. But this time, instead of up in the trees, we're going to build a stepping stone pathway, I guess, over a waterway. And this technique is pretty much the same as the last time. We are placing and moving a natural path and then immediately rubbing the terrain away. And that gives us the ability to then fill it in with water. And to get the water height right, you need to sort of understand exactly where your path height must be. And I used the little statue of the guest there to first put the water down and figure out where the feet of the guest lay. And then I moved the path to that position with the water off. Once it was in and we've removed the terrain, then I can add the water back in. And we've got the perfect height for our water walkway. And I'm using these marble blocks and placing them sort of in a chaotic pattern, I guess. I wanted it to look like a natural walkway, but with some man-made element, I guess. You do see that in gardens where they bring in cut stone like this and then blend it in with natural stone. And over time, the rocks shift, and that's why I'm sort of tilting them and just moving them around. But with this method, you get to see the bits of water in the cracks. And the guests surprisingly walk over this, and it looks fairly realistic. Obviously, you don't want to look too closely. I'd love to do more videos on crazy path techniques, but I think I'm running out of ideas, to be honest. So I do appreciate all the love and support of my first few videos. I've only been doing this for a short time and was blown away by getting to 1,000 subs already after a couple of weeks. So that's been amazing. And if you do like this video, please consider liking as well. And I'll continue doing updates and sharing as we go as much as I possibly can to help this community. I think it's a great opportunity to collaborate and come up with new ideas together. And I love seeing everyone else's content as well. So one of the things you'll notice is when you have to rub the terrain out when you place an invisible path on the ground is you then want to bring the terrain back up to the ground level. And the issue is if you get too close to your natural path, it starts to fill in the terrain again right on the path. And once it does that, you can't delete it again. So you got to be really careful on how you do that. So I just opt not to do that. I just leave it deep and then use these larger scaled rocks and place them across to give the illusion of there being a much more shallow water surface here. And then just by placing little bits of rocks around and covering up those curbs, get quite a nice effect. I really do love the water lighting in this game and the caustics that sort of cast on the bottom of the surface. It just really gives it a great natural feel. And so by changing the depths of the rocks, you just get a really nice variety in the shallows. And I thought about adding some water effects here and found that I didn't really need it. Just the pure water in the game by itself just looked good as it was. And so while trying bubbles and different things, it probably took away more than it added. So in the end, I got rid of them. And I could have left it here just as a plain rockscape, I guess, without any plants or anything. But by adding the texture and the gravel and a bit of a wear and tear to the pathway, I think you've got a lot of control now with the different textures. And it's just really amazing what you can achieve with just a few strokes of these brushes and get something that looks quite nice. After I did that, I connected the pathway to the entrance and added a little store to get some people walking across. You'll notice I didn't have a normal piece of pathway attached, and that's because when this method is on the ground, you can fill in the terrain on either end and then just connect your pathway. You don't need to do the trick where you add the regular pathway. So that's something to be aware of. You can continue the natural path through this method without having to move the whole thing again. So that was quite good. And then by coming in and adding the shrubbery and a few trees, just sort of made it feel like a pond that you might see at a little park. Shrubs are handy and rocks are handy for hiding those curb pieces, and they might actually add some value. But we really do hope Frontier give us the option to hide curbs completely, and then I think, yeah, the door's really open to what we can achieve with this method. So just finishing up with some rocks and maybe placing a few of those sort of cut stones as if they've fallen into the water a bit, just to create that sort of more natural look. And then when placing trees, I try to be precise with this, but I do find that when you get too technical with your tree placement, it can start to look man-made, and I really didn't want that. So yeah, it's got to be careful that you don't overdo it. And it's the same with flower and color. If I could put a whole bunch of flowers in, it starts to look, too manicured, and I want it to look natural. And so I ended up putting one little statue in and a couple of benches, and that just sort of rounded it out for me. I think there's a tendency to want to do too much, because you can so with this game, and with something like this, a park, I guess, yeah, keep it simple. Then I thought, well, you've got to add some dirt around these reeds and things, because yeah, the rocks, it's not going to grow out of the rocks. So you can use the planter and then round it out with some rocks as well, just to give it a bit more realism that there might be some dirt there. But overall, I was really happy with how it came out and how it looked. And it's just, again, surprising how quickly you can throw together something quite pretty in this game. And that's probably a testament to the lighting and just the overall rendering engine of the game itself. I think it's what I always wanted from the first game, is the look and feel of this one. So yeah, it's been great to get back into Planet Coaster 2, and I'm starting to enjoy actually being able to play the game. And yeah, here's some shots of the overall thing, and I'll just fill it out with some forest to give us that dappled shade, and yeah, have a look at it in detail. Well, thanks for joining, and I hope that you enjoying the techniques that I've been sharing, and looking forward to seeing what you've done with advanced pathing as well. But until the next one, I hope you have a fantastic day and enjoy the game. Cheers.